Hello my quilting friends, we are now in our quilt along week 3 when we saw together the dots. So if you go with a charm pack, it's just that you pair rectangles for each dot. And if you go with your square box, this might be the same case. If you go with strips like I do, then we can first build strip sets and then split those in segments. This saves us a little bit of sewing time. I have now chosen colors as a gradient in blue and in yellow, and because I went for this specific gradient adventure, let me give you 2 or 3 tips on that. My idea is to have kind of a sundowner with blues and orange, and they should have the darkest one in the middle piece and then fade out to the end from the dark blue and from the dark orange. I made myself kind of a scheme how I want to pair them, so I have at least 6 different combinations. So let's do that. 1 and 2. Okay. 1 and 2. Then we have 1 and 3. 1 and 3. We have 2 and 3. Okay. 2 and 3. Now I go with 4 and 5. Okay. Then we have 4 and 6. Which would be 4 and 6, and then we have 5 and 6, like that. Okay, now we have a good variation to let fade out our dots in the end. And I will do the same here with my blues using my scheme I built. These are now my pre-built combinations. Since I have 3 strips of each color, so I use 1.5 strip per combination. If you go with charm packs or with your square box and you have already cut those rectangles, then you go just ahead and pair them and you feed them through your machine using chain piecing to speed up the process. Next, you press your seams, and we want to press them open so that later the units for the dots, they lay neat and flat onto your background for applique. This is how you do the smaller units. If you go with the strips, like I do with my sundowner quilt here, we can press the complete strip set. I have already made a whole bunch of those. We press now our fusible web on. When you go with those little squared units already, you also square up your fusible web to the right size and just press it on. I like to press mine from both sides, so it's really sticky. Or when you use the strip sets like I do, you can speed up the process here. So you can cut just strips of your fusible web. My roll is 17-inch wide only, and the strip sets are often a little bit longer. So I use from the roll the width, and then I just go ahead with another piece to close the gap here. So I press it on. In this manner, you go forward and press the fusible web on all of your strips. And then we will cut those strips into segments. If you go with the little squares, you can skip this step. Now when I have pressed these stacks of strip sets, my arm got really longer and longer. And all the time I have saved, while I only had to press on long strips without cutting or saw together strips without cutting, will now be used up again because I have now to split my strip sets into segments. And I can stack up, I would say, let's try about 3, so should go. And you don't bother too much about if your ruler is actually on the line, on the seam line, and you make really perpendicular cuts. It's not that strict because later on you have that rough square shape, and then from there you cut your circle, so you have a little bit of leftover on the edges anyway. Now I'm well prepared for cutting all those circles next week when we meet each other again. See you then. Bye.